It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm at the thrift shop waiting for it to open. I'm gonna try to film inside, and this time, instead of shopping ahead of you, I'm going to try to film while I'm shopping so we can both get detached retina together. I hope. Wish me luck.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Okay, cart in hand, let's get this party started. There are no specials today, so I'm just looking at what's on the shelf, and you're seeing it with me, as I see it. You remember I was buying this a while ago, and actually all the pieces that I bought I did sell. There's the teapot, the cream and the sugar. It's a little more than I'd like to pay, but there don't appear to be any chips on any of it, so if that's still here on sale day, that might be an option. You know, I don't buy much milk glass, especially if it tends to be common pieces. This is a pretty common piece here. Hobnail, ruffled edges, probably Fenton, but, you know, might not be. And at $4, that would probably only sell for about the same online. Oh, look, there's another teapot for the 25th anniversary. Let's look down below. Don't see anything. Okay, now that's a butter dish bottom. Is that the Depression? Is that the Carnival glass from 1910 or 1965? You got it. It's that 1960s Indiana glass, made a lot of it. And I'm not a huge fan of the 60s Carnival. 60s and 70s Carnival, and that's just the bottom. Although, I don't often find butter dishes. If it had its top, that maybe. Okay, it's now a few days later, and I'm sitting in the comfort of my own home, coming back to you to show you that indeed this is an Indiana glass butter dish bottom, and it only sells for about $5. I did see 3 or 4 of them on eBay that had sold recently, and again, the price is usually about $4.99. So, again, now, if it had its top, I did see a couple of them selling for $25. So that would have been, if it had the top, and maybe the Goodwill was only asking $2 or $3, now you got a pretty good profit margin of about $20 if you can get it for that and sell it for that. But again, it doesn't fit my business model to consistently buy an item for $1 and sell it for $5. And no, not make a $4 profit, because I have to factor in the cost that eBay takes out, that PayPal takes out, my gas and time and bridge toll and all that. So really, you're only making maybe $3 off of it. And that's the reason why I left that particular piece on the shelf. Now, look at this while I've interrupted. Have you seen this? Are they doing this in your Goodwill? Goodwill. Now, come on, that is so bourgeois. Are you kidding me? Ask. Oh my goodness. Now, we're not talking about a Tiffany lamp. We're talking about mass-produced, very cheaply made, I should say inexpensively made, second-generation Carnival glass from the 1960s that you can find in any thrift shop in the country. This stuff's all over the place. And ask? Okay, I'm just curious. Are they doing this in your neck of the woods, or is this just my uptown Goodwill that's decided to do this? It's going to be funny to see how long these sit here. And no, I did not ask. I had no interest. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's get back to the shopping.
See, again, there's that 1960s, 70s carnival, which I'm not really attracted to. Oh, Wheaton, New Jersey. Okay, that's where, so this is new. Wheaton, New Jersey is where a lot of early glass was made in the colonial era. Lancasters, Indian vegetables, jaundice bitters. Yeah, so this would be a modern reproduction. That's kind of cool if you like colonial glass. But actually, that's an old cork. But this is not from the colonial era. This would have been made sometime within the last 50 years. This is hot. Probably Wheaton glass as well. Yes, it is. Wheaton, New Jersey, which is actually near Vineland. A lot of South Jersey was a big glass-making hub in the colonial era, and they continue Wheaton. There's still a glass industry there, and they've been reproducing glass like this for many, many, many years. It's cool. Okay, obviously I've moved out of that aisle because the ladies were busy stocking, and I was getting in their way, and they're working. So I don't want to be in their way. So we're on the Halloween aisle, and you can see there is no shortage, excuse me, of these. And you know what? I don't need another one. So I'm not buying any more of the pumpkin heads. Remember, I am looking for old, really old, not 1990s. And I know some of it sells. Now this guy is unusual because he's flat and he lights up. Okay, is he marked or anything? Is this an Empire piece? Was this sold last week at Walmart? I don't see anything on it. The cord that's on it is not a really old one. There's no marking on it, so it's probably not that old. But what's unusual is that it lights up, and it's meant to be hung up, and I don't have one like this. So at $3, I think I'm going to keep this. Now, you didn't see me grab these depression tumblers. I'll show you those in a minute. But I'm gonna purchase this one. Okay, the rest of these down here are pretty much, yeah, I mean, you know, they're new. When I say new, I mean relatively new. That one is a general foam, so that one's a little bit older. But orange pumpkin pale. Let's see if there's a date on it. See, now that one's Target. Okay, so you know they're still making these. There's nothing rare about them. And you know I'm really looking for the old ones. Sometimes the homemade ceramics are good. Okay, I like that. I know it's not old. So it's a fall garland. I don't have any of this. And I like how it's faded. What do you think? Alright, well, call me. There's actually 3 of these up here. So they originally sold for $5, and here they're $2. I do like how these are sort of a faded autumn color. They're not sort of a bright, gaudy orange. These have more of a quote-unquote vintage look because they look antique-y. I don't know, though. This is something I might use or give to someone else. I'm just going to put those in there as a possibility. Not for resale, but for me to do something with. He looks funny. He was $1.99 and probably just sold last year. So they do have a lot of Halloween here, as you can see. Back up. But I didn't see anything that would be considered 1920s or 30s. So this, because he's flat, lights up, and I've never seen one. And then the garland down there I'm going to do something with, probably. Okay, so keep going. I'll go back over this in detail when I put my camera down. Ceramic Halloween tea light holder. Yeah, that's just kind of the thing I don't really buy and sell. Oh, excuse me. And then they're also starting to put a few Christmas things out. But there's nothing old here. Last time I was here, I found a fantastic Art Deco frame. A swing frame, and that's coming up in a thrift haul. Okay, so you and I are both panning through the lamp section, and nothing of any particular resale value. Woo! Goodness, look at those. Yes, nothing over here that would be of any interest to me to do any buying and selling. Don't get excited, that's not old. But you'll inevitably see someone list that as Tiffany style lamp. It's actually plastic. I can't seem to clear my throat. Planters. Okay, let's spin. What is this up here? Looking like a bean pot back there. Very much like a bean pot. Aha! What have I spied? What have I spied right here? Okay. Are they vases? No, they're not. What are they missing? They're missing their water glass, which goes on top. These are bedside... Oh, what do you call these? Not tipsy, topsy. There's a name, I can't remember, but anyway. It's uranium glass. These are from the 1930s. And there would be a drinking glass on top. And you would put this on your bedside table, put water in it, and in the middle... You've seen one. I showed you one, I don't know, maybe a month back or so. We can tell they're uranium. We don't even need a black light. And this one is in a block optic pattern, and this one is in a vertical ribbed excuse me, like a vertical ribbed pattern. And they are $2 each. I'm going to pick both of them up, place them in my cart very carefully. And even though they're missing their tumblers, I can't turn them down. So get in there, and we'll maybe I'll insert a picture right here of what it looks like when it has its tumbler top. See that? There's not a great resale value to them, but again, it's Depression glass, 1930s, and I can't resist it. I think I've looked at this before, and it's okay. I mean, it would appeal to someone. But I wasn't happy paying $7 for it. And can you see if we turn it around, it does say McCoy on the bottom. Okay. It's not speaking to me. It is speaking to me. It's saying, leave me here. Let someone else purchase me. It's didn't call my name. Now I may be missing things. Oh, by the way, excuse me. I know there are certain things here you see that you would purchase perhaps for your own homes or your own collections, but you've got to remember I'm working here, which means when I'm shopping, I'm thinking in my mind, and I have to do this thing in my mind. Okay, do I know what it is? Do I think it'll sell? What will it sell for? How much will it sell for? And I have to make decisions about. I've been through this. You're tired of hearing me. All right, I'll be quiet. But I actually am going to do a special on that topic. One Lone Depression candlestick. $3. Not interested in that. As I was just saying, I'm going to do a little. I'm going to give you an illustration, and I'm going to show you specifically what I mean about how do I decide. And people have asked me this before. They say, "Oh, you walked right by this. You could have sold it." Blah blah blah. And I'm sure I pass things by, and I know I pass things by. It's somewhat disturbing. I know I pass things by that perhaps others would purchase. And so I really do want to do a little illustration of what I purchase and why, and then why I pass certain things by. I'm not being very articulate in explaining this because I'm trying to study the shelves and kind of talk to you at the same time. I don't see much here. Yeah, I know. I tried these, and I sold a few, and they're like the earliest one from 1960 has some value, but see, they want $8 for it, and I can't do much with that. So, and these get into that sort of the 1970s, and again, remember, I don't buy and sell 70s items. There are other thrifters who do, and I'm excited to leave these behind for them because, as you know, my main interest is the 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I only dip into the 50s and 60s a little bit. So that should help. If you're new to watching me, that should help you understand why I'm passing by certain things. And this is a reproduction. There's nothing old about that. You know, that's sort of a classic mid-century shape, but I'm going to say no to that. And is this an old bunny container? It is not an old bunny container. A bunny candy container is what I'm trying to say. Somebody's high heel shoes at $1.99. They're not speaking to me either. Okay, we've seen all of this. So let's go over to the dishes. Now, hold on for a second, you're gonna get dizzy. So those of you with motion sickness, look away for a minute. I warned you. Okay, I did warn you that it was going to get bumpy. And nope. And even that is a reproduction right there. That piece of depression. It's a reproduction. All right. That's a pretty pattern. Never seen it before. And it is made in England. Very pretty. I think just a set of these mugs would be nice. That's a very autumn-looking apple. And there's a cream, and this looks like is that an open sugar, or maybe a sugar missing its lid? Lots of bowls and plates, teacups. That's really pretty. And all we're seeing is made in England. Let's just try to get some more. Is it Johnson? Staffordshire Old Granite. Made in England by Johnson Brothers. Fruit sampler. That's really pretty stuff. Okay, when I turn this camera off, I'm gonna look that up just to see what that sells for. Some of the Johnson Brothers patterns, some of those patterns do very well. So I'm gonna just look that up and see. Here's some you guys already know, right? What is it? It's the, come on now, spit it out. Fire King, I'm sorry. Anchor Hawking's, why do I want to say ruby red? Emerald green, forest green. I'm going to look those up and come back and let you know. I am attracted to Johnson's Brothers. Now when I put the camera down, I'll look underneath some of these stacks of plates that I can't really look at while I'm filming. Okay, I didn't see any 20s or 30s. Remember, that's really what I like to look for. 20s, 30s, and 40s. So I'm passing by all this 1960s and 70s. Passing it by. It's a pretty teapot. I always feel right there first. If it's going to be chipped, that's where it'll be chipped, right there. Look at that with the dog. And, so that's nice. It's also Teleflora from the 80s. Oh, I forgot. I've got to show you the Depression tumblers that I picked up. You didn't see me. Now that is very deco. Not the pattern, but the circular teapot. And look at this wonderful geometric handle that sticks out. A lot of crazing on the bottom, a lot of staining on the bottom. I wonder who made it. It looks English. And I don't see anything on the bottom, so I don't know who the maker is. But that has a definite 1930s look to it. I wish it weren't stained, and I wish it had a different decal on it. I don't need any of this. Although I don't have one trimmed in gold. This is the anniversary. No, it's the swirl. Hold on. Swirl, not shell. Shell has a a different edge to it. And it's Fire King by Anchor Hocking. And I usually find it without the gilding on it, so it has very little resale value. But I do have one example in my collection, because you know I have a small collection. There are all the plates right there in that same pattern. Anchor Hocking, Suburbia Oven Proof. You see the bubble bowls underneath there? What do you think, folks? This is a typical Elegant Depression glass candy dish, circa 1925 to 1935. But what an unusual color combination. I can't quite say that I've ever seen that color combination before. It's like a seaweed green and a jewel tone blue color. Do you find it attractive or not? Never seen that color combination. It's $4 with no chips or cracks. Would you purchase it? I am debating. This is the discernment process. It's just a very unusual color combination. I don't really like these, but some of them sell for good bucks. I'm just really learning about these 1960s swung vases. This one's $5. I think I'll take a chance.
Put your hands in the air. It's for my horse. It's for my horse.
Well, I'm back inside, and here's the haul for the day. Start over here on the right. These are the Depression bedside tumblers and water carafes that you saw without their tops. It's really fascinating because I already had one, and if you'll pay attention, you'll see that this one in the block optic pattern that I already had is identical to this one. This carafe in this vertical ribbed pattern actually doesn't match this, but it matches the new one that I bought perfectly. So I'm going to be putting that tumbler on top of this carafe, and we have a complete set. And then these two back here are just going to stay by themselves until I can find the right matching tumbler for the top. So then there are some tumblers back here. The two purple tumblers I'm not certain who the maker is of those, in this wonderful amethyst color. This is more than likely Hazel Atlas's Ritz blue color. I'm pretty certain of that. It's typical color for Hazel Atlas, and these I haven't looked up yet. Then here's the big, well, not the big, but well, let's do this first. I did buy this. I'm still not sure about this color. I don't know if it's growing on me or not. What do you guys think? Is it just hideously ugly, or do you find it somewhat charming in this unusual color? This circa 1930 candy dish with these nice etched flowers and interesting color combination. I had to take the tape off of that and get it cleaned up to see what it was going to look like. Then there's the little light up pumpkin blow mold. There's our swing glass vase, which I'm learning about, the makers, L.E. Smith, Viking, and so forth. And then I went through all of this Johnson Brothers, and you know, I just decided, and sometimes I'll do this, I didn't want to buy all of it. There was a lot of it there. And what I decided to do was to buy 2 place settings and then a couple serving pieces. What's my rationale behind that? Oh, I don't know. I might keep, if I can't sell it, I'll keep the 2 place settings. It's just a pretty pattern for fall. Here I think you can see, so actually there are 2 dinner plates, 2 cereal bowls or large dessert bowls, 2 cups and saucers, 2 mugs, 2 bread and butter plates, and then over here is a platter for serving meat, fish, and so forth, and then a large vegetable serving bowl. So those are the pieces that I got of the Random Fruit by Johnson Brothers. I'll let you see that again. Or Fruit Sampler, I think it's called. Fruit Sampler. I did look these up. They sell. And I don't know. What I'm going to do is I think put the 2 place settings up. So in a place setting, you'll get a dinner plate, a bowl, a mug, a cup and saucer, and a bread and butter plate. I think I'm going to list them like that and just, you know, see what they do for kicks and jollies. Okay? So that's it. That's today's thrift haul. And I've got to get busy. I know my shop is very anemic. There's only about 30 items in there. Boy, I've got about another 100 items to list. So I'm going to hop on it. Hey everyone, it's Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.